for joining us. I'm Pat Harvey.
Hope your day's getting off to a good start. I'm Kent Shocknick. We begin with the tragedy last night in the foothills of Santa Susana Pass, where a private plane crashed with no survivors. CBS 2 has obtained this exclusive video, and we want to remind you now that here's what we know.
I always hear a lot of people praising this scene, and for a good reason. From Jake Gyllenhaal's phenomenal acting, to the incredible cinematography, and the build-up of the story itself leading up to this moment. But this scene holds darker implication than one might think. My name is Julian Slick, and usually I discuss video games, but today is a bit different. I want to discuss one of my favorite films of all time and its deeper meaning, and this time with a fellow YouTuber.
Hi, I'm Kiff. I'm a writer, and I also handle a YouTube channel similar to Julian. Julian and I have been discussing this film with each other for a while now, and we finally got around to making a video about it. The film in question being Nightcrawler.
If you haven't seen the film yet, kindly click off the video and watch it. Trust me, it'll be worth it. And if it's been a while since you've seen the film, let me summarize it for you. A young man with the name of Lou Bloom, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, is desperate to get a job and begins taking an interest in documenting LA's crime scenes to sell it to news outlets.
Slowly but surely, Lou begins taking more and more extreme measures, even going so far as to commit crimes, just so he can be ahead of his competitors. In the closing parts of the movie, Lou would do the unimaginable and get his partner, Rick, played by Riz Ahmed, killed so Lou can film him dying for monetary gain, with the most remorseless and poised look in his eyes, like he's removing some unwanted liability. At the end, Lou goes away scot-free, with a thirst of continuing to expand his empire.
Now, a lot of people who have watched this film seem to share a similar idea about the film's thematic themes. Most popular being the idea that the film is a critique of TV news stations, remorseless business practices, and even Kiff and I thought that for a while. But after further rewatch, it seems to me this film has more to say. For me, the point of the film seems to be sidetracked to something more easy to hate on, because maybe we don't want to face something really terrifying about this film. Something more personal, an idea that might just make you rethink how you go about daily life and the decisions those around you make.
What Julian is trying to say here is that Lou and the actions he committed represent the most human thing of all, the desire of money and success, and how far are you willing to go to achieve that?
The first thing that might come to mind is, I wouldn't kill anyone for money. And I believe you, because I too wouldn't kill anyone for money, and I'm pretty sure Kiff wouldn't kill anyone for money.
Yeah, I also wouldn't kill anyone for money, I think.
Anyway, it's natural for people to want to achieve the American dream, like being wealthy, having a wonderful wife, and being successful on your own terms. Lou seems like he's got all of this in the bag. He's rich, he dates a woman he likes, and he runs a growing and prospering business. Lou has achieved everything a person could want, but we're neglecting the paths he took to get what he wants.
Lou steals and lies to squeeze every ounce of money he can get out of something?
I don't know. I'll give you 500.
This is a custom racing bicycle, sir, designed for competitive road cycling. This bike has a lightweight space-age carbon frame and handlebars positioned to put the rider in a more aerodynamic posture. It also has micro-shifters and 37 gears and weighs under 6 pounds. I won the Tour de Mexico on this bike. It cost me over 8,000 new.
700.
2,500, and that's giving it away.
No bike's got 37 gears.
He blackmails Nina to sleep with him?
There's certain good things about being alone. You have time to do the things you want to do, like study and plan, but you can't have dinners like this or be physical with a person, outside a flirtationship.
Where are you going with this?
I want that. With you.
And he puts people in harm's way to better secure his future. Lou is not a good person, but you don't need to be a good person to have success. In fact, morality and ethics could prove as a hindrance to you more than anything. Lou is a representation of everything we don't want to be. An animal that crawls in the night, willing to do anything to survive. But this leads us back to our main question. How far would you go for fame and success?
As Lou said,
I can tell you from experience that the surest way up the ladder is to listen carefully and Follow my orders. You may be confused at times, and other times unsure. But remember, I will never ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do myself.
Going up the ladder is not easy. It takes a lot of strenuous work and patience. But Lou says that doing exactly as he says is the surest way up. He says that if you follow his every command, you'll be just fine. But as we've seen beforehand with Rick, Lou doesn't have the best track record for looking after his employees.
In reality, Lou will never tell someone his secret to success, because doing so will negatively affect him. His true secret is to follow nobody and do exactly what needs to be done to get what you want, no matter what. Let's find an example of this. In the first scene of the film, Lou sees an object he desires, and does in 1 minute what takes others months to do, and obtains the expensive watch. Lou gets it because he wants it, and nothing's gonna stand in his way.
And success is not the only aspect this accounts to. Anything you really want to achieve, positive or negative, can be made into a reality faster if you're willing to take that extra step. Think about the movie Sicario, where the main characters do some detestable things to achieve their goal. To better understand Lou's thought process, we can analyze his hero's journey. If you don't know what the hero's journey is, I can recommend you a video by Ted Ed who speaks about this in great detail. But if I had to give you a short explanation, the hero's journey is basically a formula for making stories. If you look at any movie, you will see a lot of tropes that repeat themselves over other films. And the hero's journey is basically explaining that strict story structure. So with that in mind, let's check out Lou's journey.
Lou's story begins in the slump. He's selling metal and wires to make it by, until he gets exposed to the unknown world of night crawling. With his newfound interests, he starts to learn the ropes. He encounters a mentor by the name of Nina and a partner named Rick. Lou encounters many obstacles throughout his journey, but overcomes them all. That is until he went head-to-head with another Nightcrawler called Joe Loader, played by deceased actor Bill Paxton. In the beginning, Lou is able to outshine Joe, but after Joe gets a new way of getting his recordings delivered faster, Lou begins to face his first loss. And here we see Lou transform into the most unorthodox creature yet. Lou's rebirth and transformation is him going so far as to beat his competition by intentionally almost killing Joe Loader and causing a brutal murder downtown to get something to film. And we finally end back where we began, with a new understanding of what needs to be done to gain what you want.
So that's Lou's hero's journey. His death is losing success after Joe has found a new way to compete with him, and his rebirth being Lou going over the boundaries as far as to kill a man to win it all. But if we go back to Lou's death and rebirth, we see something very important. Lou wants more than just money and success.
I want to be the guy that owns the station, that owns the camera. The business is going well, but in order to grow to the next level, I need to stay one step ahead of my competition and take risks.
He wants to be the best, and we see that when Joe challenges him. The scene where Lou breaks the mirror because of shame and despair symbolized the ordeal for him. If you don't know, it's a common trope in movies to use reflections of the antagonist to showcase what the hero has become, and what he needs to do to become better. Lou realizes he has lost his way of being a Stringer because of Joe, and understands that he needs to sacrifice every ounce of humanity he has to beat Joe at his own game. In a world where people are all trying their best to achieve the American dream, a world where a lot of people want to one-up each other, I ask if it's even reasonable to think that should be the way of life.
Lou and Joe's conflict shows us that in action. If their goal was to one-up each other, then that road is going to lead to where Lou went. It was not a matter of why he did it, but a question of when. Maybe we should not endorse that kind of society, because who actually benefits from living in a position of ultimate self-destruction? Lou's actions didn't only hurt himself, but the people around him.
So in choosing where to go in your life, try to stray away from Lou's path. Or perhaps you'll see yourself in a position you'll ultimately regret. Maybe, just maybe, you'll see yourself become the monster you so desperately try to avoid. A Nightcrawler. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. It was really fun to make this video with my mate Kiff, and I hope in the future we can work on something else.
Likewise, if you want to check out some of the stuff I made, my channel's link is in the description. But most of all, thanks for watching the video.
And after you're done subscribing to Kiff, consider maybe subscribing to me. I started to do more videos often, so if you don't want to miss that, subscribe and ring the bell button to keep up to date with my latest content. Nevertheless, have a good day and I'll be seeing you all next time. Bye.